This is the third question.
All right.
I knew that last one was going to be the longest one.
Yeah.
Number 3. When and why did you start making YouTube videos? And have you met anyone from YouTube because of it?
Um, I started making YouTube videos basically in an effort to educate people about what I was trying to do. And I still don't think I've done a very good job of doing that. But I'm just getting started. But basically, I had this idea, but it was kind of a new one. And so I wanted to show people just how easy it is to just like put my parts together and make terrain.
Oh yeah, especially with
And
the baby ones, dude. That was classic.
yeah, so easy to do. Yeah, so that's basically, people don't realize that the first 3 or 4 videos were so easy that I could do it. Like I don't have any skills in that department. So, I'm getting a little more comfortable with now, but at the time it was like, I'm just like, man, I don't, black paint, gray dry brush, so.
That whoever the guy, I don't the guy the guy that owns the work gaming shop that you went to, that made that kick butt train with the door. That was
Oh yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah, that stuff is nuts.
Now this tells you that I can tell. I've been watching your videos.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad. Someone's paying attention. Yeah, he whittled that door on a phone with a razor, like, accidentally. Like he's like staring off into space, and he looks down and goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, there's a little cool door." I mean, he's a talented individual. That guy, he is really cool.
Too bad you can't put that talent into a CNC machine.
But you can bottle it. I don't know. But more to come. No. So yeah, so that's why I started the videos. And then I haven't met anyone because of the videos, though I have met Bill from Trainaholic just prior to starting the videos. And that was also kind of a little bit of a catalyst and a little bit of an incentive because he interviewed me at Gen Con. And even, like, I remember during the interview, I remember thinking, this is the appropriate way to show people things. You can write it down and you can show them pictures of products, but really just like throwing them on the ground and then picking them up and jamming them back together, that's short of handing it to you in real life. That's the best you can kind of do. So he kind of inspired me to start doing the videos just in that interview. So yeah, that's where that all kind of came about.
That's cool. Because I tell my a lot of people that ask me questions about what kind of hobbies or why do I do graphics and all that. Because I love it. That's the only reason why you have to if you don't get a job or do something for life that you love to do, then there's the door. Find it.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is gonna sound kind of funny when I say it, but this is like a kind of a mantra of mine. Work is the best and worst kind of procrastination. Because you go to a job that you don't like and you do a thing that you were maybe never meant to do, but you're allowed to tell yourself it's okay because you're paying the bills. And so you really just, a lot of people's work is really just them kind of procrastinating through their life. And I don't mean to say like I've got it all figured out.
No.
And, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, in my own personal regard, that's what it was. I was going through the paces, making the money and paying the bills and buying the stuff, and the whole time I wasn't really enjoying it. And now I can't eat my Kellogg's fast enough to get out of my shop, and it's like, and my wife's gonna drag me back in the house at the end of the day, and I'm kicking and screaming, and I'm never going back. I mean, it's amazing. It's the funnest, most rewarding thing that I've ever done or been a part of. And to those of you who haven't, like people who are watching this interview, if you haven't like leapt off that theoretical cliff, don't leap off real cliffs. But if you haven't left off that theoretical cliff, take the dive, man. Just go for it. Because even if you just crash and burn, and I may still, I don't, I'm Icarus right now. I don't know where I'm at. I'm up or down. But even if you crash and burn, I got to imagine it was a wild ride. It was a lot of fun. So anyway, I know that wasn't a question, but that was that's
That was
very dear to
awesome.
my heart. So.
All right. Number 4. Do you have any tips for anybody, anyone getting new into getting into your hobby or making YouTube videos at all?
As far as getting into the hobby of like reading or writing, because I write too, that's easy. The thing about writing is that you can do it. Like anybody can do it. That's like the amazing thing. Like if you've got wet dirt in your finger, you can write a story, and it's probably not going to be very good, and it ain't gonna last very long. But anybody who's ever watched a movie and thought, man, I'd like to make a movie, sorry, there's a very good chance that you're not going to make a movie. I mean, it's very difficult to assemble the crew and all the cameras and everything, but anybody can write. You just got to do it. And so that's as far as from a writing standpoint or a reading standpoint, just doing it. Do the work. Just get in there, throw all of your excuses to the wind, and do the work. As far as the gaming hobby, you can't go wrong with role playing. Role playing is great. Role playing is what conversation is supposed to be. it's structured. You get to bash things brains in and throw them off of stuff, and no one actually gets hurt. It's role playing should be how we decide like national dialogue. Like if we go to war to Russia, it shouldn't be like bullets. It should be like 5 of them and 5 of us like rolling dice. that should be how it's figured out. So get into role playing because no one who ever did ever regret it. I've never met the guy who was like, yeah, I used to play D&D and it ruined everything. No, I don't. That doesn't happen. Play games. Enjoy yourself. Definitely play role playing. Wargaming, that's a blast. It's a lot more intimidating because there's the painting and there's the, you know what I mean? But it's also a lot more, you can't role play alone, right? It's a social thing. But you can sit there and hold your minis and be like, woohoo! So that's kind of a fun thing that, like if you get one painted mini and you're like, oh my God, I love it. You can just sit it on a shelf and point a light at it and be like, this is awesome. And so that's kind of one of the better parts of wargaming and all that is you can do it by yourself. You can take it somewhere and just paint it all up and flock it real nice and when you're done you're pretty satisfied. So as far as getting into the hobby, that's kind of my spiel on that. As far as the YouTube videos, I've been unbelievably lucky just because of Trainaholic. He's got a huge subscriber base, and he just grabbed a hold of me and promoted the snot out of me, and I love him for it. He's a great guy, and he kind of inspired. I think he, I often wonder if he knows just how much of an effect he has on people, and part of it is because when you watch his videos, he doesn't even edit. He doesn't edit videos. And so like what you see is what you get. You know what I mean? And that like WYSIWYG attitude, what you see is what you get. It's phenomenal because you're like, this is the guy. Like that guy in front of the camera is that guy. You know what I mean? And you just kind of feel like you know him and like he's your buddy. And then when you do know him and he becomes your buddy, like if you're lucky enough to be like I am, you actually get to know the guy. It's like you can't be anything other than confident around him because he just goes, just hammers it all the time. What you're doing is amazing. And you're like, I don't feel like doing a video today. And he's like, get in front of the camera. You have things to say, so yeah. I guess my advice would be, from my own personal experience, if you want to do YouTube and you want to do videos, be yourself. Treat people with respect. The worst thing you can do is like act negatively when you get a bad comment or anything like that because it doesn't do any good for anyone. And then try to find someone, maybe even just through YouTube, that seems comfortable in front of the camera and talk to them. Send them a message. Send me a message. I don't care. If you think about doing YouTube and you want some pointers or whatever, I'll talk to you. Not that I have a big subscriber base or a lot of videos or anything, but I'm getting more comfortable. I'm getting almost too comfortable in front of the camera because I keep asking the camera questions. And there's no one there. So, when I pause and go, you know what I'm saying? And I wait for an answer, it's a little too comfortable in front of that camera. But maybe not that level of comfort. Maybe you want to back it up a notch and remember that you're the only one in the room. So be comfortable and maybe try to find someone who's done it so that you don't feel like you're like reinventing the wheel, just do what they do. You should always have your own personality, but there are certainly good and bad ways to do a video. So, learn those from someone who knows what they're talking about.
Yep. I still want to laugh at the last time, and you made that was funny. I'm sorry about that. All right. The 5th question. Who do you think I should ask these 5 questions to next, and why?
Honestly, I thought about this and I have kind of a mixed answer because I think Trainaholic would be perfect. And he does a lot of interviewing and very rarely gets to interview. And I think he'd be a blast to have on your show, and I think he would enjoy doing it. But I almost didn't want to name him because I'm kind of assuming you've already thought of him. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest with you, I'll tell you the truth. After I got a person from my last interview with the Real Mithril, and I'm talking to him, and I got him. I'm gonna be interviewing him this Thursday coming up.
Okay.
Well, this Thursday coming up. So I'll be posting this on that Thursday.
Okay.
So and then I got that interview, and so what I'll do is whoever you pick, I'll get that next person.
Okay.
That's what I've been doing. It's easier that way.
I think Trainaholic. I think he's my role.
Okay, I'll tell him that you sent me. Please, I'm gonna need your help to get him though, because he has a lot of comments.
Yeah, well, I can talk to him. I think he'd probably do it. I think he would enjoy it.
All right. So that's the 5 questions, or do you want me? And I can stop the filming now if you want, or do you want
Sure.
or do you want to say anything about your website or anything like that?
Sure. You can find me at ModestMagic.com, ModestMagic Twitter, ModestMagic Facebook, and obviously ModestMagic YouTube. And what you should do is go to ModestMagic.com, and you'll notice there's a store button. Click that. Just fill up your cart. Don't even really pay a lot of attention. Just fill your cart up with stuff, and then check out. And just make sure you get more than one thing. You want a big box. Order a lot of stuff. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, you can see all the stuff that we offer now. We got a whole bunch of other stuff coming out. So this is just the beginning. Just the beginning. Tip of the iceberg. So, and that iceberg is not an iceberg. It's a terrain mountain. And it's the tip of that. So.
Well, that's the end of the show. Everything he said, all his web pages and his contact information is going down in the description down below, and also at the end of the video in the credits. Have a nice day, and like I said to everybody, keep your blade sharp and make the hobby be fun.